Okay, what I'd like to do is show you how to take a mixed number and divide it by a whole number. So to do this, what we have to do is first take this mixed number and transfer to an improper fraction. If you remember improper, to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my denominator times my whole number and then add it to my numerator. So 2 times 4, or 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then that is going to be all over what my denominator still was. So it'd be 9/4 divided by 2. So now I have a fraction divided by a whole number. Well, I need to remember, what exactly are we doing? There's a couple ways you can divide out. A lot of times we say, oh, flip your fraction and multiply. Well, I don't have a fraction, I have a whole number. So I'm going to write this 2 different ways. I'm going to say 9/4 divided by 2. And then also I'm just going to say 9/4 divided by 2. But I'm going to write it, rather than 2, I'm going to write it as 2 over 1. And the reason being is we know that 2 over 1 is equal to 2. 2 divided by 1 is equal to 2. We know that's true. So when I write 2 divided by 1 equals 2, here, let me show you this way first, and then that will make more sense. So if I divide by 2, you can't divide a fraction by another number. We can't have 2 fraction bars. So to get rid of this 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to get this off of my denominator. So what I'm going to have to do, if I change this to 2 over 1, is I have to multiply it by the reciprocal, which is 1/2. And whatever you do on the bottom, you're going to have to do on the top of the fraction, which would be to multiply by 1/2. That's why they say flip and reciprocate when you're just dividing, a fraction by another fraction. Because I have to get my 2 off the bottom here, I have to write it as a fraction and reciprocate it to multiply. And then whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do on the top. Now 2 over 1 times 1/2 is going to cancel out to 1. And therefore I have 9/4 times 1/2. 9 times 1 is equal to 9. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. And the same thing here. If I was just going to flip and reciprocate, I would get 9/8. So that is how you divide a mixed number by a whole number. ¿Preguntas? No preguntas.
What are the endpoints of the diagonal? Is there not x and y and then